Thank you so much for this opportunity that you have granted me to come over and speak about this cancer month and specifically narrow down to breast cancer, which is our focus and theme for this year's October Cancer Month. My name is Dr. Wachira Murage, obstetrician and gynecologist, and I practice here in Savannah Hospital. Savannah Hospital, we have an outpatient in town and the hospital in Upper Hill. So welcome as we discuss this topic of cancer of the breast. Breast cancer, as we know, cancer is malignant tissue. Malignant tissue is where the tissues have grown and overgrown the normal tissue, and they have caused cancer. So specifically, cancer of the breast affects the breast, and the breast is the organs. Both women and men have breasts, and they can get breast cancer. So this cancer affects the breast and the tissues around the breast, and they can spread to the other organs. And let us remember, the breast also extends into the axilla, and you can also have the breast cancer going to the axilla, that is the armpit. In cancer, except cancer of the cervix, most of the cancers, we do not know what causes cancer. But what we discuss as causes is called risk factors. What are the factors associated with a certain cancer? In this reference, the breast, it can be familial, it can run in families. We also discuss other things like some toxins. Toxins are things like some particles in the breast, some metallic particles, maybe in things like radiation, and also some habits like smoking. Yes, those are risk factors for breast. You're also looking at things like very high BMI in people who are predisposed. Let us remember also there is an association of breast cancer with other diseases. There is a syndrome called MENS syndrome, that is multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome, and this is an association of breast cancer with other organs, diabetes, hypertension, cancer of the ovary, all those associated. So if you get someone with diabetes, hypertension, those are people that we should be on the lookout for breast cancer. Breast cancer in men tends to be very, very severe when it comes. So we normally take special reference when we find a man with breast cancer, where we do get them occasionally. So we do not know the causes, but we talk about risk factors, just like I have mentioned. Yes, it can be. And this is why I mentioned about the familial predisposition, the MENS syndrome, people who are predisposed to having diabetes, people who are predisposed to having hypertension, people in families who had not necessarily breast cancer, okay, breast cancer, yes, and other cancers related, like the thyroid, like the ovary, all those are related. And remember, those diseases run in families. So there is a strong association in the family. The early signs of breast cancer, and this is where now we will narrow down as we go on about prevention and self-care, is that most of those diseases, we always get them when it's quite late. But to mention a lump in the breast is a very, very early sign. And remember, a lump, you can only get it when you continuously check your breasts. So a lump is the commonest cause. Change of color in that area where the breast is starting is a condition we call pudiorange, where the skin changes to look like the peeling of an orange. That's why it's called pudiorange. And also darkening. That area also, one can notice that the breast is that area is like it's going down. It's like there is some bit of indenting. There is denting of that area. Then you can look at the breast that is affected. Sometimes it can be bigger than the other one. Sometimes if you try and raise your hands so that the breast can move with your hands, the ones with the breast cancer, you'll find that it is a bit of stuck. It's lagging behind. And then of course you can also have nodes on that particular armpit of the breast. And then you can have a discharge coming from the nipple of that breast. And most of the time, that discharge will be blood stained. Okay, yes, there are. Self-check only helps us to detect an early lump, to detect early changes in the cancer. And that has a very, very a great help to us as doctors, to the patient, because we are able to treat that cancer almost completely. But there are other ways that we do that. Once we have now that, once we see those changes in the breast, then we are able to do the following tests. Number one, you can do a breast ultrasound. It will help, right, to tell you where is that lump, how does it look like. From there, and a breast scan is also very, very important in people of less than 30 years. Above 30 years, we can do a mammogram, which can quickly give us an idea of that kind of a lump. When now we get from the radiological high index of suspicion that it can be cancerous, then we can do what is called a fine needle aspirate, FNA. This is a cytology. And cytology, we are talking about getting some cells from that particular lump and looking at those cells, and if they have malignant change, cancerous change, then depending on the staging that you have staged, then you can go to the next step. If you are not sure about the cytology, then you can do a biopsy. Yes, a biopsy now means you get larger tissue of that lump and do histological. There's a difference between cytology and histology. Cytology, you're looking at the cells and they give you an idea about a malignant change. When you're talking about histology, you're looking at the tissues, the bigger portion, and that will tell you the spread, the layers that the cancer has gone through. Then from there, once you make the diagnosis, then you can prepare for the treatment. In most cases, as it is with all the cancers, we have something called staging, biopsy, and then the debulking. So you have already tackled, you have made the staging, so you know now, are you dealing with a localized breast cancer? Are you dealing with a cancer of the breast that has gone to the surrounding tissues? Or are you dealing with a cancer that has gone to other tissues? Most of the time, you want to do surgery so that you do mammectomy, you remove the whole breast, all right? If you think it's very localized, it's a young patient, you can remove just the cancer, and then you can subject it to chemotherapy. So it's a combination of surgery, chemotherapy, and radiotherapy. Once, if you remove the breast, then you can put some grafting to help the lady, because of course there'll be a difference in the chest appearance. But a combination of surgery and the chemotherapy and radiotherapy is what is employed in the treatment of breast cancer. The chemotherapy also, you can do things called immunomodulation, because as you're trying to diagnose and to stage, there's something called immunochemistry. And immunochemistry will tell you what type of cancer of the breast are you dealing with. And that will help you in the choice of the chemotherapy that you can employ. But basically that is what you do. The rest, of course, is recovery. That patient, you need a lot of psychotherapy, family support, and long-term treatment, because you have to monitor. You're talking of a cancer. And in cancer, we do not talk about healing cancer. We talk about the cancer going into remission until you get negative. But you can miss at least one cell that with time can recur. So the issue of cancer treatment in the breast is a long life kind of a follow-up. We can say yes, and one of the preventive measures is to make sure that we go for checkups, just like we are doing here at Savannah Hospital. Those checkups are very, very important, And of course, that is why we are bringing this clip to just bring awareness to us as a way of trying to prevent cancer. Because if you do get these cancers early, then you are able to treat the cancers almost completely. Because if you're talking about stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 1, you can treat successfully to more than 90% in a way that patient, you'll never get it again. But of course, stage 3 and 4, from 2, 3, and 4, you're talking of prognosis. You're saying with this stage, of course, the stage 4 is the worst. One can live for many years. You successfully can treat for over 50, 70%, which is, of course, is not curing. In the way of prevention, then going for checkups, like in the breast, we have something called breast self-examination, BSE. And basically what we ask the ladies is that they have a mirror in front of them, then they can undress on top, and then of course they just relax the way I am, putting their hands down, and then they just look at the breast. Is there one bigger than the other one? Is there an area that you can see there is a lump that is obvious? What is the change of color, or do they look like all of them? Then after that, we ask you to raise your hands up, and as you're doing that, the breasts are supposed to move symmetrically up. If you find one is left behind, then you suspect there could be something holding that particular breast. Then after that, you want to touch the breast, and we normally advocate that with your right hand, you do the left breast, and you are dividing the breasts into quadrants, quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have a central quadrant where the nipple is, and then you have the armpit. So you exhaustively and very, very carefully go through pressing the breast. One quadrant, you're pressing the breast on the chest wall, see whether there is any lump, and then you go to the other quadrant, you go around to the other quadrant, and finally to the fourth quadrant. Then you go in the middle, again you press, see whether there are any lumps. And the kind of lumps that you are looking at are fixed lumps. There is fibroadenoma, which is very, very common lump in the breast. And the fibroadenoma, what normally it does, it moves and slides between the fingers and the chest wall. Okay, and that is normally a normal fibroadenoma. So once you do that, remember the nipple you have pressed to see whether there is any discharge, and then you can move your hand right into the armpit, into the apex, the corner of the armpit. And then you want to press, see whether there are any lumps, and you press in the central part, press on the front side and the back side and the apex, and make sure you slide again the hand coming towards the breast. You are looking for any lumps that you can be able to catch. And if you find any lump, whether it's a fibroadenoma or not, ensure that you see the doctor for appropriate investigations. Of course, the habits like smoking, you are advised to stop smoking, and make sure also toxins, the drugs, you take drugs when it's very necessary. In things like radiation, of course, you avoid radiation. But in cancer of the breast self-examination, and every 2 to 3 years having a mammogram or an ultrasound is very, very important. And of course, if you realize you're coming from a family of hypertension, diabetes, or yourself you have diabetes and hypertension, make sure that you can even do such tests every 2 years without fail. Of course, there is blood tests, the carcinoembryonic antigen, which we do all those things in Savannah Hospital. You can do those cancer markers, and there are those cancer markers in the breast which can help you in case you are missing a lump. If you do serial carcinoembryonic antigen and they keep rising, then that would call for a more extensive search of breast cancer. I would urge people to embrace the aspect of checking, self-care. Make sure that every month you try and do the breast self-examination. It takes a few minutes, and just do it just before ovulation when there's no numbness. And once you do that and you get something that you're not sure of, please ensure that you see a doctor. Don't just ignore and say you are young, you can't get breast cancer. Start with breast self-examination, and every 2-3 years, when you are going for your other checks, do either an ultrasound and do the mammogram. But very, very important to remember to do the self-care. The BSC can help save your life.